Hi everyone, my name is Andra Stanoiu and you're listening to the Healthy Debate Show on UK Health Radio and podcast. As we are transitioning the cold season, our body starts feeling more and more tired. What do we need to energize our bodies? How can we optimize our health during this period? And how can we eliminate negative energy? My guest today is Olesya Wilson, a certified nutritionist, functional diagnostic practitioner, and energy healer. Her unique approach integrates cutting-edge lab testing, the latest discoveries in biological science, ancient herbal medicine, and revolutionary psychosomatic and energy healing practices to help people thrive, reverse aging, and forget about chronic health problems. Hi, Olesya. Welcome to the Healthy Debate Show. How are you today?
Hello, Andra. I'm doing well. Very happy to be here with you.
Olesya, I wasn't finishing your discussing about your background and your previous work experiences. So I'm very intrigued. Please tell us more about your professional background, your maybe some of of your beginnings, right? How did you decide to go in this direction and study psychosomatics, studying herbal medicine, lab testing?
Oh, of course, it all started with my own health problems. Right now I have like all these titles, certificates, everything. It just came along beautifully. But that was a time when I was very heartbroken. I was about 50 pounds bigger. I was covered in acne. I was feeling like I'm premenopause. And I wanted to have a baby. And that was my dream. I was just married and I had absolutely different profession. I was a project manager. I have a master's degree in linguistics. So I studied Chinese, English. So totally different background, right? And then in my quest to have a baby, I had several heartbreaks because I was told that at first everything is fine. We don't know why you can't get pregnant. Then we started fertility medications. I couldn't walk from pain. It was absolute disaster. And then I started to uncovering that I have chronic illnesses from PCOS, deep hormone problems and issues like hypothyroidism, PCOS, increased antibodies. So it's like getting to autoimmunity. I've had IBS, you name it, right? I think it was 5 or 6 of them. And then I couldn't walk from fertility medications. And I said, well, I can't do this. And something inside of me told me that this is the road nowhere. And I quit all of my fertility medication. I start trying everything, all the research, everything that's possible. How we can detox, heal, rejuvenate, what can I do with my own body? I had a feeling that I can accomplish a lot more, that I don't have to suffer like this. And I made a lot of mistakes. I cried in my bathroom floor from mistakes I made, like detoxing. I've tried all of the popular detoxes. I've tried naturopath, functional medicine. And then I went to school and I started studying the nutrition and fasting and how can we rejuvenate, how we can affect our body with nutrition, with food. And, in the process, I got pregnant naturally twice. I have 2 beautiful children, 6 and 2, without IVF or endometriosis surgery, which was, the condition the doctors told me how I can get pregnant. So, and I realized how amazing I feel. I always was told that you can't change your body shape. And I was always this apple body shape, always, even if I lose weight, always had this belly fat, always had acne. So all of these start changing. I realized that we can change the body shape. I think I look differently. You look at my pictures from, you can find on Instagram. I am a different person. My face changed, my skin changed, the quality, my hair, and the most important part, my brain, how I see the world, it felt like the whole universe, just turned around and started conspiring to help me. And I decided I want to show women that we can have limitless body, truly limitless body, that we just need to give it what it needs and remove what doesn't belong in there. It's that simple. And, yes, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. I was just curious how long it took you to go through these stages, because it sounds like it wasn't easy. So we're talking about years, we're talking about months.
You know what? I can tell you when I had the problems and I couldn't get pregnant, it took me just probably when I realized what I can do with my body and I use some of the tools that I use with my clients right now. I got pregnant in about 3 or 4 months when they told me, you can't get pregnant. And the thing is, some of the things like PCOS, like hypothyroidism, it took me just several months to see the results and get pregnant. And then, of course, after I had the first baby, I realized that I want to help women, and I went really, really deep into the business, into helping other people, and kind of a little bit forgot about myself. And then I realized, whoa, I'm going backwards. And then again, couple months, and I got pregnant again because I want to have a second baby. And it's just depending on what kind of issues and if you are guided by someone. Because I had to try everything by myself. And with naturopathic doctors I worked with, they didn't scratch the surface of how deep it goes in terms of detoxing, in terms of removing things that doesn't belong in our body, because much of them just start addressing hormones, and hormones just chemical messengers. When you work with organs, the cells, the tissues, all the hormones just get into place. So that's why I designed my own approach where we get to the real root causes. We get a little bit deeper, and it can happen a lot faster than my journey was.
What do you think was the hardest part in your recovery? What did you find the hardest thing to complete?
To have the people who support it, because there is a lot of, it's so important to eliminate people who don't believe in you. Eliminate people, I didn't mean to eliminate, right? But at least to protect your own boundaries, become a confident person. I think for me, not even the physical changes, but the confidence in yourself and your abilities in your body, creating who you are, who you really want to be. Because I think the connection to our soul, who we really are, starts with our body. That's why my approach, I also study psychology in Russia actually right now, and this confidence in our own abilities, and not giving up and not hesitate when we see a little bit of a setbacks, because the process of healing your body can have a little bit of a downfalls. We perceive it as that. And some people can just get discouraged and listen to other people, when they say, oh, you lost too much weight, for example, right? Or you can't do this. They say you need to eat more, or you have to be confident.
I think this is also related to cultures. There are some specific cultures that are encouraging you to not necessarily be very slim or not necessarily be very, very skinny. So I think you made a really great point in trying to make this journey your own rather than using others to get the advice you think you need. And this is why we're here, right? We're here to discuss about professional support that can be offered, and support that is not just, from the books, but also experienced by you. So let's talk about healthy bodies. The cold season is here. I'm not sure. I know you're based in the States. I don't know how the weather is there, but I'm based in London. It's quite cold. I can't remember the last time it was so cold. So it's very, very difficult for people to keep their bodies healthy during this cold season. What is your advice for this? How can we help our bodies maintain a healthy balance?
Well, it always, and it does start with the immune system. When you do have robust, healthy immune system, it is, everything becomes easier in your body. So your body's immune system can take care of anything that comes and trying to distract this healthy balance. And immune cells, they do work through our lymphatic system. So basically, not a lot of people talk about it, but our immune system is our liquids in our body, I don't like this word clean, but basically how clean our blood, our lymph system. And then there are a couple of tips I can share to help your immune system. There are some herbs like cat's claw, for example, lysine, amino acids like lysine, but also just really simple but powerful thing is to drink hot water. There is and add minerals to it. There is an advice in there to drink 2 liters of water every day, and I personally disagree, especially if it's a cold water, especially if it's a tap water, the water that is absolutely have different mineral balance than the water that our cells need. So basically this water gets into your stomach, mixes with hydrochloric acid, with acidity, and our kidneys work really hard. Our kidneys, our liver work really hard to warm it up and to utilize it. And usually it goes to between our muscle and skin and give you puffiness, giving you problems. So it's not hydrating you. But when you drink very hot water, especially in these cold seasons, very hot water, it helps to get inside of your organs. And it helps to make our fluids in our body more liquid. And then lymphatic system and then immune cells can do their work. A lot of problems happen with our immune system when our lymph, which is like a sewage for our body, but also it's a transport highway for our immunity. So it can be pretty powerful. And then I love to use liquid minerals. You can probably use internet to find which ones are available in different countries, but liquid minerals added to water and hot water that can hydrate the cells, help your immune system, and just doesn't take a lot of time. And then I love to use herbal tinctures, like I said, maybe licorice root, cat's claw, and you just can have 1 glass, and you just can put all of these liquid things in 1 glass, and it's going to be your potent potion that can help your immune system.
Why is it important to eliminate toxins and what are the benefits for the health? Because I'm imagining if you take this powerful shot that you just explained, it will contribute to also eliminating toxins. And of course, you can correct me because you're the expert here, but I think that might be the case. So why is it important to get rid of the toxins?
Well, that for us to function, and probably everybody can confirm right now, nowadays, modern people, we are lacking energy. People wake up in the morning and they already don't have energy they have to drink lots of coffee, they have to use a lot of things to even function, to even feel normal. Then we're not present with the family, we don't have ideas, we don't want to go to work. Like, life is not fun. And how that happen? How do we lose the energy like this? The thing is, we create energy in our body with the help of little powerhouses called mitochondria that live inside of our cell. Before we're physical body, we're actually electrical body. And when mitochondria that they combine glucose, oxygen, minerals, and create energy for us, ATP. So that energy, to create that energy, the mitochondria uses glucose. If we have lots of toxins, and I always say parasites, yeast. Nowadays, people have a lot of those. This bloating, the indigestion indicates there are a lot of bacteria, opportunistic bacteria that don't belong in the body. So when mitochondria detects these things present in the body, it stops making energy in the full capacity, and it gets into defense mode, and it seals the cell. And when the cell is not permeable, we start having hormone issues like hormone resistance. Insulin can't get in, meaning glucose, meaning we can't make energy. I don't want to overcomplicate things, but everything starts when mitochondria detects there is inflammation, there is mucus, there are parasites, there is yeast. So we getting into defense mode. So the body basically stop working, and we perceive it as aging. We perceive it as a chronic illness, and basically there is no chronic illness. There is metabolic dysfunction that start with this inflammation. So my approach is always remove everything that doesn't belong in your body, and I call it like an umbrella term, all the parasites. And they can be like one cell parasites. Some parasites live inside of our cells, and that's what mitochondria doesn't want. That's what it's protecting us from. I hope I didn't make it too complicated.
No,
but
you
it's
didn't.
Essential. But it's essential, if you want that vibrant energy, if you want to wake up like you used to wake up when you were, 10 years old, 20 years old, while your body didn't have to go into this full defense mode and start losing that energy, it's essential to remove what doesn't belong in the body. I always say that right now I have 2 kids, it's my business, I have full practice, and I have a lot more energy than before. Why? Because my body doesn't work in defense anymore. And I always say that outside stressors are not as damaging as inside stressors. I really believe that our bodies are so robust, we can handle a lot of outside stressors, even nowadays busy life, when we give it that potency, when it makes that energy again,
So you mentioned quite a few times less energy, and you said that, look, I'm feeling more energized now than I used to feel maybe 10 years ago. Do you think that when you feel like your body has less energy, do you think it influences your mood and the way you show up every single day, maybe at work or in your relationships? And if that's the case, if the low level of energy are influencing the mood, how can we keep, I would say, the right mind body balance? Because I also know that you're specialized in psychosomatic, isn't it? So tell us a bit about that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, the first thing, again, when we talk about the mood, when we talk about the energy, of course, when you, the things that present in our body, for example, if we take yeast, and it's not just candida, there are a lot of different species of yeast, they can affect our neurotransmitters. So neurotransmitters, like the hormones in our brain, like dopamine, serotonin, they can lower these neurotransmitters. And for example, serotonin is your leadership hormone. When you feel like a leader, when other people perceive you as a leader, and dopamine is our hormone to accomplish tasks, to have new ideas in business. So the things, the parasites, they can be present, and they lower those neurotransmitters. So we don't feel ourselves no more. We don't have this leadership anymore. We just feel fatigue. We feel tired. We feel discouraged. And what do? We eat more, right? There are food sweets, the cravings coming from that. But also, of course, when people fighting, we're talking in terms of psychosomatics, the nowadays stressors, I call them also, not nowadays, but the stressors we accumulate through life, and I call them like energetic parasites. When you're growing up, and the society and the family, unfortunately, for a long time, they were robbing us of that feeling that we can follow our intuition. We have the right answers. When you're a little boy or girl and the mom tells you, no, this is not the right choice around, like the clothes, or you want to go have fun and she tells you to sit down to eat, or in school, you want to do one thing and they tell you that to do another thing. So when we're growing up through life, or somebody come to you and say that you're ugly, you're not pretty, or you're not smart enough, not good enough, and unfortunately, through lifetime, we accumulate a lot of these energetic parasites. I call them, there is emotions and ideas of other people that are not ours. And that's what I always work with ladies who come to me, and gentlemen, is to find that real core. Through the body, we connect to the soul, to real you, and we look for what is the things that you got from other people. that not your own. And that confidence in your body, in your abilities to change your world is absolutely priceless. As soon as you get this confidence and you don't lose that focus, the whole universe is available for you. And then, go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
And then, this is very important to do this in, I call it layers. So we work through the body and mind, because when you release these, the parasitic ideas from your mind, you release them from your body. And when you release them from your body, you release them from the mind, because they kind of like a synergy. Your body lets the what doesn't belong in there in, on purpose. You know what I mean? It's just like your body is very, very smart. And when you give up your power to other people, to circumstances, you give up your power to the parasites, to yeast, to infections, to viruses that can easily get in your body. So it's very connected. Psychosomatics, your confidence, and what belongs, it doesn't belong in your body.
I remember you mentioned when we started the conversation, and more specifically when you were telling us about your journey, that you're now feeling much younger than you used to. And I remember, to be honest, quite a few years ago, I was feeling probably older than I feel now, and that was because of the lifestyle I had and the way I was. I decided at that time to eat and to exercise, which wasn't great. So this makes me think about aging. Many people are afraid of aging. Some of us are actually terrified. I'm one of them. How should we embrace aging, and what's the right attitude to have towards aging?
Well, I always say that the most important thing is to shift the focus. If we're going to run from the problem, there is a pretty amazing teaching in Russia called transferring. So it teaches, if you run from the problem, the more you think about it, the more energy you give to it, right? So there are two types of people: the people who are always scared of something, they're running from the problem, and the universe always gives. So this is their tool to become better. They're always trying to avoid something. And there are also the people who everything is fine in their life. They're not running from something. Yeah, they're accepting, but they want more. They're imagining how it can be even better. So I learned that shifting that focus from understanding that we absolutely right now, this is my mission, we can live until 120 years at least into 30 years old body, and that becoming my mission. I want to find everything, how I can support my body, what can I do. Then I forget that aging even exists. I'm not running from aging anymore. I have the higher goals for myself and for everybody who work with me. I used to help people to release, to reverse chronic illness. I do not concentrate on that no more. We're running for health. We're running for longevity. We're running for, not running, but we work forwards. Mm-hmm. Yes, we thrive. So it's shifting focus. We don't need any more like kicks or kind of like lessons from universe, from God, whatever you believe in. If we growing ourselves, we don't need a harsh trainer to train us. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. And I think it's a bit of work that needs to be done here. Certainly, I do have to start putting a bit of work to try to understand how, aging is part of a natural process, and the focus shouldn't be on the number of wrinkles you have on your face, should be more maybe around being healthy, living the best time, trying to find some maybe hobbies or things that really make you feel alive and energetic, rather than focusing on more traditional patterns, let's see, and more traditional ways of doing things. Olesya, let's take a short break now. And once we're back, I would like us to discuss about your Limitless Body program. And we're back with Olesya Wilson. Olesya, you were telling us very briefly before the break about your program, Limitless Body. So please give us a bit more details about this. I know for certain that before we started the conversation officially, you're very excited about your future programs that you're planning to launch. So tell us about Limitless Body and why is it important that people start looking into your programs and maybe start considering working with you.
Yes. So, getting back a little bit to the subject of aging, this is my passion right now. Like I said, I absolutely believe that our bodies are limitless and the things we didn't discover yet, soon we're going to discover and understand that a lot of the things that we were think true before are not true anymore about our bodies. And the thing is, the more I do the research, the more I study, the more I realize that we indeed don't need to take care and concentrate on certain chronic illnesses. And my Limitless Body, it includes the gradual dive into how we can bring up our own body ability to rejuvenate, to keep us longer, to give us unlimited energy. So basically, we start with the functional medicine, with my Russian herbs, but then gradually, it's amazing what can happen to the body when we start. You were talking about sagging skin, the aging. It's amazing how fast our body can recover, and in terms of even changing completely the sagging, wrinkly skin when we, for example, get on a dry fasting. This is the fast when you don't drink, when you don't eat, and it's very interesting how easy it can become, how our taste, how our dependence on food changes when we remove the parasites, the bacteria, the yeast. So my Limitless Body, it concentrates on removing everything that doesn't belong in the body, and jumpstarting the innate ability of the body to cleanse, rejuvenate, and reverse the aging itself. So we start with the functional medicine, the herbs, then a little bit of the fasting, very easy conditional fasting that you can, like anyone can do. And then we get more into the depth of cleansing the lymph, the blood, and then we turn on kind of like jumpstart the body's ability to deeply heal itself. And that's when the real miracles start. And I know it sounds like pretty exaggerating, but not to me anymore. It's the old advice about how much protein, and I'm a nutritionist, I'm all into that. But the old advice about how much protein you should consume, what kind of nutrition plans and diets are good for IBS, for example, it's a wild west in my opinion, and we made it like never-ending circle. And my goal is to show people how our body can do all of this job, and eventually, without supplements, without minerals, without vitamins that you take, you have to use. Some people just they transition from medication to supplements, and they just can't survive without their supplements anymore. There is the never changing, different search for a new diet can be pretty exhausting. So it became, and it's all funded by different industries. So it became like a hamster wheel for people. And what I do and what I did for my body, what I did for myself, I broke a lot of rules about how much, what are carbs, how can you heal your IBS, what is good for like small intestine bacterial growth. It's a lot of myths I broke when I started my journey, and with my ladies. I just did the interview with one of my ladies, Colette, and she said at 48 years old, she had the best body of her life. She never had body like that. I had women who start their menstrual cycle after being on menopause. I healed my own IBS actually with beans and legumes were considered taboo when you have IBS. So I like to break the myths, and I like to make it potent and pretty the healing road pretty fast right now, because I made a lot of mistakes. It took me a long time, but I believe we can recover so fast if we have the smart approach and roadmap to it. And my goal at the end of the the limitless body, me working with you, you don't need all of the supplements, vitamins, nutrition plans. You listen to your body, you know exactly what it needs. Your body is free of the toxins, of things that are robbing your body of energy, and it's becoming its own working energy producing machine creation. I wouldn't call it a machine. God's creation.
Does your program include anything about emotional health?
Absolutely. I use with different techniques, for example, like rapid transformational therapy. It was developed by Marisa Peer. She is our Hollywood hypnotherapist, and her method allows us to go to the deep stored emotions that sometimes people hold since their early childhood, and sometimes they even forgot about them. And so what we do, and that's why it's called rapid transformational therapy, we go straight to those patterns, emotions, and we remove them. It's like removing old software and we add new software in. And I have a lot of tools. We also go deep into the family tree, and it's amazing how fast right now with the different tools we can remove years and years of stored trauma, insecurity, and we just been stopped, hypnotized by life. Because remember at the beginning of our conversation, I said when you release trauma, so from your psychic, when you release trauma that lodged into your body, you release what doesn't belong in your body in terms of yeast parasites. And when your brain is not ready, your body is not going to let go. So I definitely combine both of these approaches to achieve the best results.
You briefly mentioned some of the success stories, some of your clients, but I would like to understand a bit more the type of support that they received and what was their initial situation.
Yes. So some of the women come to me usually with hormone problems when they feel like something is going on, and they usually go to a doctors. Some come from actual functional medicine doctors, and they feel like they approach helping them a little bit, but there's still something that they didn't discover that is not helping them to, they're not allowing them to see the results they expect. And then what I like to do is a very custom approach. So of course I work with the best labs in the US, and I like to see how the organs working, what are the systems doing. I like to look at the brain, neurotransmitters. Sometimes it's genetics, but it's very custom approach. So I always listen to where we're coming from, what a person don't want in their body, in their life anymore, and where we're going. What is the dream body? What is the dream life? What do they want to achieve? And from that, I built the very custom approach around the person. I do have this program, Limitless Body, right now, that Tree of Life. It's a foundation where I'm just going to take all of the tools that I use with, building all of these amazing custom protocols, healing patterns around my clients, and I'm just going to share it in the course. And it's not going to be educational course. You can read about hypothyroidism online right now, and there are a lot of courses about that. It's going to be hands down tools, like tools that help you to reprogram your body, tools that help to eliminate the stressors, tools that you can just start using right now.
Alicia, let's take a short break, and I would like us to discuss when we're back the difference between your program and maybe other health programs, or what makes your program so special. And of course, I'll have some other curiosities that I would like you to help me clarify.
Okay. Sure. Sounds good.
Good health, good energy, good emotional health. And before the break, Alicia was giving us some examples where her work, her intervention, her program found found was very useful for quite a lot of women. You mentioned that, you can go on Google and just find some information out there. I really want people to understand how your program is special and what makes it different from other health programs that are out there. I know that especially during holidays, isn't it, during Christmas, there are so many offers out there. Everyone is offering something. Mm-hmm. Everyone is selling something, especially including in this area, right? Health and well-being. So tell us what's the key element? Why is Limitless Body really different?
Yeah. So when I was on my journey, on my health journey, in quite honestly, right now, I consume a lot of courses because I really love educating myself. I really love to learn the new stuff. But what I found out when through my journey, there are a lot of the courses, there are a lot of things, tools in there that are really time consuming. And who has time right now, right? I have 2 kids, 6 and 2 right now. And I thought about it is so much information right now. There's so much available that, I have the free information. People can Google, people go on YouTube. And I was thinking how to make it less time consuming, but the best, hands down tools that people can use right now. So I don't explain how the body works anymore. I don't talk about a lot of things. I just one by one share the tools, the approaches that can quickly help to eliminate everything that doesn't belong in the body and nourish the body so it could do its own job on giving you that energy. When we have that energy, when we have our mitochondria working, immune system, your body can do everything, all the necessary steps to be healthy, to be vibrant, without you being on 1,000 supplements, without you switching the diets. So I believe that my course is just because I had so many struggles with other people's courses, and sometimes you just start them and you don't finish because so much information, you need more information. I believe that nowadays we don't need more information. There is too much. There is a lot of confusing stuff. So I just use what works, what worked for us. I've seen the results and I put them in a very I try to make the videos very short and I'm giving you the tools. Here it is. You don't need to look at the doctor as God, even nutritionist as God. You don't need complicated diet. You don't need complicated approach. The main thing is doing, like the Nike slogan, just do it. This is the whole idea of my course, and I wouldn't even call it course. I call it like limitless group, right? There's a group of ladies, and we just go in there and we just do it.
So how are the meetings? I'm imagining you're meeting online, isn't it? And you have customers from all around the world, or how does it work practically?
Yes. So the last group I did was years ago. Then I was working one-on-one with people, and I really loved this setting. But now I'm going to transition more to a speaking engagements. And all my tools I'm going to put in these videos, these short videos. But also, while I'm recording, while I'm doing this, I decided to have a group of ladies where we can meet on Facebook, and they're going to be connected to me through Telegram. There is the Telegram is it's basically like a social media. What you're familiar with Telegram, right?
Yes,
I don't know how you call it, social media app. And I like to use it because I really want people to have a community. Well, remember at the beginning, I said how important it is to have confidence in yourself and to have people around you who are supportive. And also, I want them to have access to me. And I think I'm going to just do it once. I don't know what future going to bring, but right now, this is the idea, to give all the tools to see what kind of problems we're going to experience right now as a group, and put it all in the course, and maybe later on people can just use it themselves. But so I'm really excited because it's like almost like working with me one-on-one, this group, but I can get a a lot more help to a lot more people.
You mentioned that a few times you had to go and try some health programs and they didn't work for some reasons or another. And I think you are right. I think persistency, I think, that's an important aspect. Also, if something doesn't feel right, you should stop it, right? Stop wasting your time and money and so on and so forth. So what are some of your tips, let's say top 3 tips to get you started on your program and stay on the program?
Well, the first one is support. The confidence is number one. The second one, you have to listen to your body, because the approach that helped Jessica next door not necessarily going to help you. So we need to start to understand that our intuition is there. It is right. We need to listen to it. Of course, things like yeast and lowering our neurotransmitters, those can interfere with our own ability to listen to our body, but it's there. The first one is confidence and surround yourself with people. The second one, listen to yourself. Absolutely. And the third one is just like the tools. Every day you need to start with some tools, like what I shared, for example, hot water, or another thing that I like to use in the hot season that inspires and lifting my mood right away, like I buy the different powders like hot, raw cacao powder, turmeric, different maca powder, and I make myself very hot chocolate powder with turmeric, and I use glycine. It's amino acid, and it's very sweet, and it doesn't affect your blood sugar. But you can make yourself. That's the tools that I provide in my course. That you make yourself the drink that is absolutely gorgeous tasting. It's lifting your mood. It's the cacao is there, so it's chocolate. It's turmeric is there. It's healing your gut. So we women, we need to heal through some willpower, but also through pleasure. This is how our bodies feel. So it's just willpower, it's not going to work. So things like these, things that are made pleasurable, especially for women, when I work with them, that changes everything. Our journey has to be pleasurable. Otherwise, our bodies are just not going to let it in, not going to let it happen.
Olesya, thank you so much for your time today. I really want our listeners to get in touch with you and have a go and try Limitless Body program. So where can we find you online?
So limitlessbody.com. This is one of my websites. You can find me there. And of course, you can schedule the call. They're absolutely free. I always like to talk to people, and sometimes people tell me, like, after talking to me for 1 hour, they get more benefits than going to doctors, because it's just inspiration. The things that you can get from people who did the journey are pretty amazing. And also, so it's a limitlessbody.com, and also Instagram. I give so many stories and tips and valuable videos in my Instagram. It is mindoverbody.me, and also my YouTube channel. There's a lot of videos there.
So your YouTube channel is Limitless Body or Olesya Wilson?
My YouTube channel is Olesya Wilson. It's Olesya Wilson.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time. It's been really a great pleasure speaking with you today, and I wish you best of luck with all of your programs and your great work.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. It was nice talking to you.